we have some very good content for you today. For those of you that are new, welcome. Just give you a quick primer on what Revenue Conduit does, and then we'll introduce Ryan. So, Revenue Conduit provides marketing automation for small online retailers. And marketing automation is how you grow your online store automatically. So what happens is Revenue Conduit connects your shopping cart to the most powerful automation engine available for small businesses, Infusionsoft. And it allows you to turn more visitors into leads, more prospects into first-time customers, and more first-time customers into repeat buyers. If you're simply sending out an email newsletter every week or every month or whenever, and you're looking to grow, it may be time to consider the most powerful combination, Revenue Conduit and Infusionsoft. Now, one of the things that we hear most often from our clients is that they need more qualified traffic. And that's why I got very excited when I met Ryan Masters at the big Infusionsoft conference about a month ago. Ryan is a paid traffic strategist. He's a Google certified partner, and he has been managing AdWords for e-commerce clients for more than 6 years. And what's really cool about Ryan's story is that he started working, before he started working with other online retailers, he took just $500 and turned around his family furniture business by building an e-commerce website and using Google AdWords and analytics. And he sold that business in 2012 and now continues to help e-commerce companies dominate online. Ryan, how you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me, and apologies for the tech glitch there. My GoToWebinar froze, so
Uh,
I was trying to get in and it didn't work, so I had to reboot real quick. So now we can dive into the content that I'm very, very excited to share with everybody.
awesome. We're ready to rock and roll. So the floor is yours, my friend.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, we're going to do a kind of a power-packed presentation here. We're going to go over, again, the three simple remarketing methods that you can use to leverage more e-commerce sales, and these are ones I use daily with my active e-commerce clients, and then open it up for Q&A at the end. We can make sure that we answer any particular questions you have on remarketing or paid traffic in general. So before we jump into remarketing, we want to take a quick step back and get a direct response marketing primer. And if you haven't heard of direct response marketing, you want to become familiar with it, because that is, as an e-commerce owner, should be your modus operandi. And that with direct response marketing, we are looking to deliver the right message to the right person at the right time. And when we get those three, we have a call to action, and then therefore a measurement of response to see how the advertising did. So instead of spending money on advertising and wondering if it's working or how much is working, every ad and every marketing campaign you run has a specific goal. Usually, as with e-commerce, it is to increase sales or checkouts. And now we can go back and measure, okay, did this ad increase sales or not? And if it didn't, you change the message. Was it going to the right person? If it wasn't going to the right person, we change that. So that's kind of a crash course on the direct response marketing. It's important you understand that before we dive into AdWords or remarketing, because the principles carry through any online strategy. So what is remarketing? Remarketing, if you aren't familiar with it, it allows you to reach people who have previously visited your website but didn't necessarily take an action that you wanted them to take. So again, because we're all e-commerce owners here, that's kind of the framework that we're using. So these are people who visited your website and for whatever reason they didn't purchase. And what it allows you to do is have ads that kind of follow them around the internet, and those ads can be chosen by you in terms of based on the content that they viewed on your website. So they can be seeing ads on, if they're reading a blog, if they're watching a YouTube video, or even if they're on Facebook. If they visited your site recently, you can have your message right in front of your prospects. And the benefits of that is you're able to deliver the right message to the right person. So with the direct response marketing formula of the right message to the right person at the right time, remarketing allows you to jump right in there, because if somebody hops on your website and you're selling shoes and they're looking at shoes and they didn't buy, later they're on Facebook talking to their friends, and now all of a sudden there's the ad for your shoes again, and maybe they didn't purchase. There's tons of reasons why people may not have purchased. Maybe it was just because someone came by and they had to get off the computer and they're at work, or the kids called, who knows. But the point is, when you show them the ad again, and because they were recently on your site, you have a much greater chance to increase conversion, as we're going to get into the specifics here. And then also you have wide coverage. Basically with YouTube, the Google Display Network, which is Google Display Network is anywhere there's like blogs and articles, and then Facebook, like those three web properties, that's like 90% of the internet audience. So you can get in front of the right person. So again, we got the right message, we can deliver it to the right person and at the right time, which is when that's all lined up, going to increase your conversions. And so the tech aspect of how this works is if someone visits your website, the website, then you have a code that you put on that places a cookie on their browser, and then when the user leaves your website and they go look at other websites and they see that cookie, it says, oh hey, this person needs to see these remarketing ads, and it matches it up. So it kind of follows the computer that the person was on. And what's interesting is Facebook allows you to start following the person. It's some of this stuff is a little creepy, I guess, but at the same time, there's a way to do it that's tasteful, and the ROI, as we'll get into at the end, is huge, and a lot of people greatly appreciate it. So, just wanted you to understand the mechanics of how remarketing works, and let's jump into the strategies. So, key strategy number one is you want to collect and target hot prospects first. Okay, so again, right message, right person, right time. What is a hot prospect? Well, in our case, somebody who's added something to the cart and or visited the checkout page. People who went that far in your process are much more interested than somebody who just visited the home page and then left. That doesn't mean that you can't remarket to that home page person, but we want to, because we're doing direct response, we want to funnel the money to where it gives us the best ROI, and the strongest ROI is going to be for people who were like, man, I'm about to buy this, but let me think about it and come back later. So what you want to do is create a campaign that is targeting people specifically who have added a product to the shopping cart and or the checkout page but didn't finish. And then you want to look at, okay, what type of message do we want to run? And it doesn't have to be, I think a lot of e-commerce owners, and I used to do this with our company, we kind of sell ourselves short and think, okay, we got to offer a discount right away. And that's not always the case. Some people just don't know about, if you offer free shipping, or if there's a bonus they get, or if you can include an upsell, there are messages, part of your marketing message, that people probably just didn't see when they were on your website. And the advantage of remarketing is it allows you to put not only the product in front of them that they were interested in, but also your unique messages as far as why they should buy from you. So with this key strategy number one, you want to set up a campaign that's targeting people who visited the cart checkout page, and then have banners or ads that are explaining some of your unique selling propositions. So whether it's free shipping, or if you do want to include a discount, I mean, it's not bad. So if you have a coupon code, come back and save 10%. You've probably seen this, other companies do this for you. But this, when you're starting with remarketing, this is the first place you want to start, because you're going to get greater buy-in and you're going to see the results much faster. And these campaigns are going to be two of the highest ROI campaigns that you set up, is targeting people who visited the cart and the checkout page. So strategy number two is using what's called, this is with Google, it's called dynamic remarketing. And what this does is it combines your Google shopping feed, or product listing ads, it's going to be called Google shopping feed now, plus the visitor history for super hyper relevancy. And you've probably seen this before. I'll show you an example. But if someone's on your website and they're looking at a couple of specific products, Google will note that, and then they will take those products from your shopping feed and create a banner on the fly showing the visitor that exact product they were looking for, plus the price and everything. So it's like literally the exact thing that they were looking for. It's it's a little bit trickier to implement than regular remarketing, as far as there's some coding, so you need to have a good tech guy or tech team, but the ROI is well worth it, because here's the thing, a lot of e-commerce owners, like, that's a mini obstacle, and that stops a lot of e-commerce owners. So like, oh, this is, I gotta find someone, so I just don't do it. Well, this is an opportunity for you to get way ahead of them by taking that extra hour or 2 hours to get the right person to get it installed, and the ROI from it is going to be huge. And same thing, you can use these these banners, these ads to remind prospects of unique benefits to your specific site, whether it's fast shipping, free shipping, if there's a sale going on. People, it was always amazing to me, like, and you may have experienced this too, when people call and ask questions about products on your site, and you're like, well, the answer is like right there, it's right in front of you, but people, they just don't see it. They're busy and they don't have time. And although we love our sites and we read everything on them, other people do not. And so again, with remarketing, this is your chance to hit them or touch them at multiple points to make sure your important messages are getting across. And so here's an example of dynamic remarketing in that, Zappos, they're kind of one of the leaders in this. So I was looking at some boots on the left-hand side, and then you see on the right-hand side, if you go to a site that has the Google Display Network, then they threw those exact same boots in there, and look, they said free shipping both ways. That's again one of their unique selling propositions. So they put that right in there with the price and then two other similar products. So this is kind of an example. They have their own custom thing, but this is the same layout as far as what dynamic remarketing would do, and that's why it's so powerful to get that set up. All right, and the third strategy is you want to magically clone your best customers. So again, delivering the right message to the right person at the right time. Well, if we can find more of the right people, we're automatically going to increase your sales. So how do we find more of the right people? Well, let's look at who's purchased from you in the past, find commonalities, and then go get in front of similar like people. And you can do that with Google AdWords and search stuff, and that's nice. But the new powerful feature is Facebook and Google will both create these clones for you automatically. So you can, for example, if you're setting up remarketing on Facebook, you can upload a list of all the emails of your customers, so only people who purchased, and Facebook will scan that list, they'll match them to Facebook profiles, and then they will look for commonalities between all those customers and say, okay, let's go find more people. Well, and this is like advanced algorithm stuff. So they're like, okay, X number of people like this movie and they're this age and this demographic, and they match all those things up. And then they go find other people just like that in Facebook that you can now show your ads to. And this is all, it's all private. So you don't get to see people's names or anything like that, which is not important. But what matters is you get to create clones of your customers and then get ads right in front of them. So that's Facebook's version, and Google does the same thing. When you create a remarketing list inside of Google, you want to create a list. This strategy is you want to create a list of people who have purchased from you, and then Google will then create a similar list. And what they do, since they don't have the same the data that Facebook has, they look at like browsing history and properties of the computer, all that kind of stuff to match up. Okay, these people are similar to the customer list that you just created. So now when you're using this strategy, 2 quick tips to keep in mind. Number one, these prospects, even though they're kind of clones of your customers, they may have never heard of you before. So it's not the same as remarketing in that, like, they were looking at your product and they were on the fence and they didn't buy. Like, these people don't know you at all. And so you want to just keep that in mind when you're writing the message, because we want the right message. So a message to them would be a little bit softer. You wouldn't say, hey, buy this thing right now, but you don't even know me. You would maybe, if you have like a free opt-in to capture their email or a very popular best-selling, kind of entry-level product, that's something that you would want to run in front of them to get their interest, because ultimately they should be a good customer for you based on the matching data, but you can't use the same message that you would use for people who were looking at your products already. And then the second tip is using Infusionsoft or whatever your email provider is. You can put the remarketing code, the remarketing script inside an email and send it to all of your customers. So when they open that email, they get that cookie installed on their site saying that they're a customer, and it builds that list. Now you have a list of customers. Again, we're talking just customers, people who've already purchased. And the reason we want to create a list of that is not to necessarily show them remarketing banners, but to create a clone of those customers. And then if you really want to get fancy, I mean, you can do like thank you banners, like we appreciate your business. I mean, no one really does that. So that's an option as well. But yeah, it's just very powerful. So here's a screenshot of creating a lookalike audience. This is inside of Facebook. And so what you do is you upload the list of emails, and they will then they ask you, do you want to optimize for people who look most like this, or do you want to get in front of as many people as possible? And so I always do similarity and create that audience, and now you've got a list, a magical list of customers that you or potential customers that you can target right away. So, in conclusion, you may be asking, should I use remarketing? And I'll just say again, from all the accounts I manage, remarketing is the top performing campaign across all accounts. And it's very popular nowadays. People, I remember too as an owner, it's like, oh, why did they come and not buy? Like, it's all here, it's everything they want. But that's not, people don't come and buy right away. I mean, yes, a small percentage do, but they just don't do that. They want to research and compare and look around. So now, once they visited your site, instead of just throwing that away, and as revenue conduit customers, the importance of follow-up. This gives you the opportunity to follow up with people who visited your website. You've already spent money to get them there, so you might as well spend that little bit extra to convert them and get them across the finish line. Again, you can expect some high ROI from these campaigns, in that my clients average 550% to 2,180% on the remarketing. And the kind of bonus to getting such high ROI here is it allows you to spend more money at the top of the funnel, so at the broader keywords, because you have a strong base and a strong bottom. So now you're able to outspend your competitors and pay more per customer than they can afford to pay, because you've got a better marketing system. So yeah, so again, those are the three strategies that if you're not using remarketing, just start with those. You'll see the buy-in and get the high ROI and grow from there. And if you have any questions, or if you want to do, I have a 3-point remarketing audit. I'd be happy to look at your account if you've got it set up and let you know. If you have any holes based on what we just went over, you can just shoot me an email, Ryan@squeezejuicemarketing.com. Be happy to take care of it. So, all right, that's kind of those are the three strategies. Let's go ahead and open it up, guys. If you have any questions on remarketing or paid traffic, I'm happy to answer those for you.
All right, Ryan. Very, very good tips. Very action packed. We do have a few questions that have come in through chat, and I can relay those out to you. And I'll just start with the question of mine. I know that the life of a small online retailer is hard and getting harder, right?
Yeah.
Advertising costs are tending to go up.
Yep.
Google will change their algorithm, and half a retailer's traffic will disappear overnight.
Yes.
So it's kind of interesting with remarketing, because I kind of feel like this is something that is not fully exploited yet. There's a lot of opportunity, and the economics seem to be better. So can you give us a sense of how much does it cost to actually do remarketing versus regular CPC or Facebook advertising? What do those economics look like?
So remarketing it's generally cheaper. Like when I'm comparing remarketing campaigns, so they're done inside of AdWords or Facebook if you're doing Facebook. When I look at the cost per click of those campaigns versus like a search keyword campaign, generally it's a little bit cheaper. And on top of that, the more important metric is just the ROI, or the cost per conversion, and those are always better, always better. I mean, again, it's 500% plus on those campaigns, so they absolutely kill it.
Very good.
So I would definitely, yeah, so definitely starting with those first helps kind of shore up your base, because here's the thing with remarketing campaign, like with a search campaign, you're targeting people who are typing in keywords. So if you're selling shoes or boots or motorcycle boots, people type in motorcycle boots and then your ad shows up. And that's good, but that can be competitive. With remarketing, you don't even have to, you can automatically start targeting people who just have already visited your website. So they're familiar with you. So they're much more likely to buy. And with that higher conversion rate, you could spend more to make more.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, this question's coming in from Bill. I've heard of Google Shopping before, but can you give us a little more detail on what Google Shopping actually is, not just in the sense of remarketing, but how can small online retailers leverage it?
Yeah, Google Shopping is so again, with e-commerce clients, remarketing and Google Shopping are the two best campaigns to have running. And what Google Shopping is let me get a browser open here, is you you give Google a feed, a data feed of all your products, and then they will scan those products and make them into, like, automatically set up campaigns to target them. So let's see here. Okay, so see, I type in red shoes. See this right here? These are, is this showing up, Dan?
It is. It is. Yep.
Okay, so these are Google product ads. So this is Google Shopping. So basically, when someone's typing in what Google perceives as purchase specific keywords, they will show these ads right up here at the top, and people instantly get to see the type of shoe or the type of product and the price, and they click on it and come right to it and buy. And yeah, these campaigns do this again, Google Shopping campaigns and remarketing campaigns are the two best campaigns for e-commerce clients as far as ROI. It just kills all the other ones. Doesn't mean
Very
the other ones aren't bad, but these are if you're going to start, it's all about buy-in. And like you said, the small businesses are so busy, you want to do the 80/20 of the 80/20, and that's what these two campaign types are.
What goes into actually setting up one of these feeds? Do
You
most
have
shopping
to,
carts have plugins for that, or how does it work?
yes, most of them do. Um, like BigCommerce, I think will, for example, plug it in themselves, and same thing I think with Shopify. But what you want to look at is, let me see, I think it's Google Merchant. Yeah, so google.com/merchants, and when you go there, it'll give you the layout of, like, here's the data feed that we need, please upload it. But any of the, shopping, I know BigCommerce because that's what I used to have,
Uh-huh.
does it automatically. I think Shopify would do it too, and really any self-service web e-commerce platform will allow you to have it. You just need to look for it. So it's either called Google Shopping, Google Product Feed, because the names have changed as they've grown this portion of their business. But that's how you can get that rolling.
Certainly seems like some low-hanging fruit when it comes to
Yes,
advertising
yes,
online.
it is.
So
Yes.
very, very neat. Okay, this question is coming in from Sarah. Can you just provide some more detail around how you insert tracking pixels into emails?
Yeah, so you get the tracking code from inside of Google AdWords, and then what you do is you copy it. Let me see if I can find a. Let's see. I know I've got one on my site. Source. I'm trying to find the source here real quick so I can show you.
Not a regular Safari user, eh?
No, I'm not. So, so
I
let me
bet you I
hop
know
over.
what happened. You were going to open up your regular browser, but you had probably like 40 tabs open, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, and it's on the other window. So I'm going to open it over here and grab the code.
There you
'Cause
go.
this one I do know how to use.
Yeah, it's always funny when somebody shares their desktop and you get to see the insanity that they live in and day out.
That is true. Okay. Google. So here's the Facebook code. Let's copy this bad boy. Okay. Okay, so here is an example of the code. So this is like Facebook code, but basically you get it from inside of AdWords or inside of Facebook, wherever you're doing your remarketing. It's called the remarketing pixel or tracking code, etc. And you can see how it's just a bunch. It looks like kind of like gobbledygook. And what you do is you highlight, you copy, and then inside of your email editor. So if you are in, let me see here, in Infusionsoft. Just pull it up so I can show you.
Great.
But when you're in Infusionsoft, you go to the code builder. Get to it here. Okay. So it's got to be an HTML email because this is HTML code.
Okay.
Hit the edit here, and then you can do
Insert an HTML snippet there.
snippets.
There you
Yeah,
go.
exactly. So you can just
Cool.
plug this right in the bottom, and there you go. Bam, you paste the code, and
Wow.
and it can work. Now sometimes, yeah, see they're saying it removes JavaScript. So sometimes you have to work around and get creative. Like you have to load. Like I can't get into the crazy technical details because it wouldn't make sense. But there are workarounds for this. Like this right here won't let you paste this particular code in, so you have to do a different call in. But you can find a tech guide to work around that.
All right. Maybe we'll do a little research on that, and when we post this video recording, we can provide some instruction on that front.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. We've got a question from Kevin. I've heard you need at least 10,000 monthly visitors in order to remarket and to make it worth it. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, they used to, yeah, back when it was first starting, it had these crazy high like requirements to create a remarketing list. It used to be a lot, yeah, but now it's like 100 people. Once like so when you install the tracking code on your website, think of it as like now you have a bucket that's collecting people who visited your website. As soon as that bucket has 100 people in it, then Google will let you start running remarketing ads for them.
Interesting.
So if you only have 5 people that have visited your site so far, then yes, you wouldn't be able to run ads. You need at least 100. But nowadays, almost anyone gets that.
100 versus 10,000 sounds pretty good to me.
Yes.
Cool. This one's coming in from Warren. I use WordStream to manage my AdWords campaigns. Do you know if WordStream can manage remarketing campaigns?
That is a good question. I do not know off the top of my head.
Okay.
I would assume so if it's managing AdWords, because remarketing, is a feature. It's not exclusive to AdWords, but it is a feature inside of AdWords. So I would believe, my inclination would be yes, but I can check that, and we can post that with the webinar as well.
Awesome. Very good. Well, very, very good. I just have one additional question. You don't have to disclose the names and places, but can you give us maybe an example of one of these strategies that you used with a client and what the results were?
Yeah, so let me pull up, make sure this is not on the public screen. I'll pull up an account real quick.
I'm putting you on the spot here.
No, definitely. This is good stuff. That's what I get for my GoToWebinar freezing.
There you go. Payback time.
So yeah, so let me pull up. Yeah, I'll pull up one. And these guys, they spend a lot. They spend like 70 grand a month.
Okay.
But it's the same. Like I have clients who don't spend anywhere near that much, and the economy of scale is the same. Like when I had an e-commerce company, like we spent, I don't know, maybe 1,500 a month on AdWords, but we were getting like 10 grand back. So the dollar, you don't have to spend more to make more. Don't think that's a common misconception.
Okay.
Okay, so let's shoot, hold on.
I really put you on the spot there. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm pulling up. It's easy. I'm pulling up the account now. So I'm looking last 30 days. So remarketing. So again, strategy number 1 was targeting your hot prospects. So that's creating a remarketing campaign specifically targeting people who have added to the cart or checkout page. And in the last 30 days for this particular client, with that setup of the campaign, the spend was $813.15. Revenue was $14,265. Conversion value, so ROI was 1,750%.
Wow. Not too shabby.
No, not too shabby. Versus now here's a general remarketing campaign, which is also set up. So this would be people, this is targeting kind of like, anyone who's visited the site but didn't go to the cart page. Um, that has $700 in spend, but 3,000 in revenue. So,
Okay.
still 420%. That's nice, but it's not nearly the same as doing those targeting those cart visitors.
I'll trade you $400 for $3,000 any day.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Awesome. Well, Ryan, this has been fantastic. Good, quick, action-packed webinar. Three good tips. And I think the message is this stuff is accessible for small online retailers. It's not
Yes,
exclusive to the big dogs, right? The
right. No,
technology is there.
it's there. Yep. It used to be, there was that higher barrier to entry initially, kind of like that question pointed out, but
Mhm.
now it's a level playing field, so you want to race and get out there because the people who are up front are killing it.
Awesome. Good stuff, Ryan. I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And everybody, thank you for attending. We'll go ahead and post this in a few days on our blog. And if you are interested in getting what did you call it? An audit, a review?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
remarketing audit. Yep, check that
Okay.
out.
Why don't you just say that email address one more time, Ryan?
Sure, it's Ryan Ryan at squeezejuicemarketing.com.
Awesome.
Just shoot that right through. That'll come right to me.
Well, very good. All right, everybody, have a good rest of your day, and perhaps we'll do another webinar sometime soon. All right, take care.
Yeah.
Bye bye.